What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on today's video. I am Jess and you're watching Keto Rewind. So today is day 4 of the Keto Rewind Clean 30 challenge with alternate day fasting. And the type of fasting that I'm doing for this challenge is protein sparing modified fasting. So that means today is day 4 and today is a protein sparing modified fasting day. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to eat today. So, but quick disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm just somebody who's been trying to rewind my health from morbidly obese to a healthy weight. And I'm doing it with a ketogenic lifestyle in fasting. So honestly, there's no secrets. That's as simple as it gets. So anyways, I do want to mention I got a new vendor that I'm testing out for t-shirts. I know when you want to support the channel, one of the great ways to do that is to click on the link below and shop the Keto Rewind merchandise. And I usually put like the themes or the sayings I usually say a lot or often on my channel I make them into a t-shirt. So this is one of my most favorite sayings, you do you, because it seriously couldn't be more true. So anyways, I will link below if you want to grab this shirt. This color is called Midnight, so it's like a purpley navy and I love it. So anyways, let's get back to the video. So I'm going to run in a few minutes to get a COVID test, and that's because I was coaching one of the girls on my softball team that has COVID. So just for out of precaution, so we don't have to quarantine and all that stuff, I'm going to go get a test and make sure everything's good. So I feel fine and I don't think I have COVID, but hey, you never know. I don't want to spread it. So anyways, I'm going to go do that. But when I come back, I'll walk you through what we had for lunch and dinner and all of that jazz for today. So anyways, let's get this video started. So today is a protein sparing modified fasting day. That means we're focusing a heavy emphasis on protein. I will link down below where you can figure out your macros, but I'm aiming for 150 grams of protein. I'm aiming for 30 total grams of fat and 10 total carbs. So that's my macros for a protein sparing modified fasting day, which is real hard because that's a lot of protein, like hardly any fat and hardly any carbs. So, but it's possible. You just have to get creative and do some research. So I'm starting off today with a bowl of Greek yogurt. I'm doing the serving size, which is 170 grams or 3/4 of a cup, plain fat-free Greek yogurt, and I'm just gonna add some cinnamon on it. And then with that though, is the star of the show. I'm gonna make protein sparing modified fasting cinnamon rolls. So, I'm gonna make it's very similar to the bread recipe with the exception of we're gonna add some Boca Sweet, some Swerve brown sugar, and some cinnamon. So I will walk you through the whole process and that'll be breakfast. And I kid you not, they're delicious. They're a home run. So every time I make these, my kids scarf like 4 of them down. They're really good. Oh, and real quick, if you like to see videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any videos. Let's get into the kitchen and show you how to make today's foods. Okay, so let's make those protein sparing cinnamon rolls. So I'm going to start with some liquid egg whites. You can split them apart yourself, but you're going to want about 386 grams of liquid egg whites. And then in a separate bowl, measure out about 80 grams of nothing but egg white protein powder, no flavoring, just plain egg white powder. And set that aside. And then next we're going to use a Boca Sweet is my favorite sweetener. I feel like it literally does not have any of the cooling sensations, no weird aftertaste. It's pricey though, but it's worth every penny. So I put 2 tablespoons of powdered Boca Sweet in here, and then we're going to use my hand mixer and whip until the egg whites form stiff peaks. It takes a little bit of time, but it goes fairly quick. I'm just going to speed it up for you so you don't get bored here. But anyways, it's at that point now where I'm going to add the egg white protein powder. And then we're going to whip it and get a little bit more beating on those eggs. And this way it gets nice and fluffy, and you kind of want it to be able to stand up on its own and form like a cinnamon roll shape. Obviously we can't roll this out. But you're going to take it I like to use an ice cream scoop. It kind of just really helped pull it out and keep it fluffy, but a big fat spoon would work fine. I didn't really find one method work better than the other. It's just about getting kind of like that fluffy shape. And then I got about 12 of these scoops out of my batter here. And the serving size is going to be about at least 3 of them if you make 12. So anyways, fill up a whole pan. And next we're going to get Swerve brown sugar. If you have another keto approved sweetener of your choice, go for it. But my favorite is the Swerve brown sugar. So we're doing 2 tablespoons of that, and then a solid teaspoon or more if you like it extra cinnamony. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter and put that in the microwave and melt it. That's what it looks when it comes out. And I'm just going to real gently add in a whisker of that into each little cinnamon roll. And it makes like this little burst of goodness. It encapsulates that whole thing in there. So you bite into it. It's like it's a stuffed middle. So it is super yummy that way. And then I drizzled some more or sprinkled some more cinnamon on top and a little bit more of the Swerve brown sugar. Now the Swerve brown sugar on top obviously is optional, but I think it really did add to it because I didn't do a glaze. So it just gave it that little extra bit of goodness and mixed with that cinnamon. But there is the finished product. Seriously delicious. It is now lunchtime. We're going to do chicken with some wing sauce. So I'm going to spray my pan with avocado oil. You could totally grill these chicken breasts if you want. It's raining outside, so that's why I'm doing them inside. And also show you can do them either way. So I'm going to put the chicken breasts down in the pan, and you want breasts, not thighs, because we're watching fat. And I'm going to sprinkle salt all over them, garlic powder, and just season them up so they taste really good. And I'm going to pan fry them essentially. And then also add some onion powder and black pepper. Halfway through cooking, I'm going to flip and do the same thing on the other side, just FYI. But once we've seasoned them up, cover them and let that cook. Meanwhile, I've got a tablespoon of tablespoon of butter and 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. Microwave that. There's the finished product with the chicken. Once that's all mixed and melted, you're just going to drizzle it over your chicken breasts. And that is seriously how easy it is. And they are so yummy. Alrighty, it is now dinner time, and I'm going to make turkey burgers. Now, I cut my finger pretty bad, so that's why I've got the gloves on. So I'm going to just use ground turkey breast, salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. And then I'm going to just season up my meat. I only have a pound here. I don't want leftovers, so I'm going to be splitting this with my husband. And I'm just going to season it up, mix it with my hands, and then real simply, I'm going to form 4 hamburger-shaped patties. So I like to use hands to mix it up so it gets nice and even. And then I'm going to divide it down the half and then divide those halves by 2. And it kind of makes them somewhat even. You could use a scale, but I'm going to literally eat both of those, so I'm not too worried. But make your patties and pop them on the grill. Now, I couldn't get the lighting to work here, so apologize for the crappy lighting. And meanwhile, I'm going to just go ahead and peel an English cucumber and dice it up. And I will measure out 150 grams of, got to get that into grams. 150-ish is what I was looking for the cucumbers. And if you want, you can sprinkle a little salt on those cucumbers. It tastes really good. And then the next thing I'm going to do is zero out my scale and get the sugar-free ketchup. You can do any sugar-free ketchup. You don't have to do the one I have. There's a lot of really good brands out there now. This one's a Simple Truth, but Primal Kitchen is good. But just make sure you measure it. You can go crazy on it. So I'm doing 2 tablespoons or roughly 28 grams. Or trying to get as close as I can, but you know what I mean. And then there is my finished plate. Look how yummy that looks. So that is dinner. Let's talk macros. Okay, so here's the macros for today. I ended up with 154 grams of protein. I know someone told me there was a setting that you could schedule keto versus different macro goals for each day, but I have not had the time to figure that out. So right now I'm just going by this number. So 154 grams of protein. I was real low in fat, which was surprising because I thought there was more. But whatever. I wasn't hungry, no big deal. 846 calories and around 14 carbs. So I made a recipe for those cinnamon rolls since I'll be eating those quite a bit. And I roughly have 3 of those that I made, or, a quarter of the serving. I mean, quarter of the total that were made. And then because I didn't have a chance to take a picture, I did 3/4 of a cup of fat-free Fage yogurt. Or 170 grams. I just sprinkled cinnamon on it and ate it that way, but you could add collagen or something to that if you wanted to. And then lunch was the chicken breast with Texas Pete hot sauce, and well, I made my own wing sauce. So I used Texas Pete and I used butter. And then for dinner, we did the turkey burgers with the cucumbers and the sugar-free ketchup. And of course, round out the day with the protein-sparing modified fasting coffee. Main difference between the protein-sparing coffee version or my keto coffee is the cream and the collagen that's used. On a PSMF day, I'll use half and half or light cream with the Eclipse collagen that has no MCT oil because again we're watching the fat. And on a keto day, I use heavy cream and Perfect Keto's unflavored collagen because it does have the MCT oil. So that's the main difference. No big deal. You could use the same one for both and don't sweat it. So that was macros, and I will see you tomorrow for day 5.